Russ, your take on a quite bizarre 2-2 draw?
I don't know where to start really. I think I should feel better about making a comeback and the lads finishing the game as strongly as they did, because the last half hour was really, really good. But I don't think it quite makes up for how poor we were before that. But as I've already said to Luke in the previous interview, that the whole dynamic of the game, the whole context of the game, everything, their mentality, our mentality, everything changes when you concede a goal that early. It's unacceptable. It's happened too many times. Tonight's the quickest one. So we need to really look at it. It's so frustrating. I'm embarrassed by the fact we concede so many goals so early. It just changes the whole game plan. It changes their whole mentality. They come out more aggressive. They looked excited at the opportunities to counter, because they sniffed and felt that we didn't recover quick enough from that goal, conceding that goal. But what I would say is I'm really, really proud of the players for the way they come back in the last half an hour. I thought they were outstanding. The tempo, the intensity, the energy, the conviction, the courage to go and keep playing and doing the right things. And I thought for the last half hour we deserved the goals. There's no doubt about it. They were hanging on in the end, and if the game goes on a little bit longer, we maybe go on to win the game. So really disappointed and frustrated with the way we conceded and changed the course of the game, but also really proud of the way they come back. But at the same time, everyone, the players know, we know that it's not acceptable for our usual standard. And there haven't been many of these. There haven't at all, especially at home. I don't recall a performance like that at home. Maybe Rochdale last season for the first half, which was similar. But other than that, they've been really good. So we have to look at it, myself, the staff. We all have to take responsibility for that and make sure it doesn't happen again.
Felt a little bit like the Southend draw on Boxing Day, where you certainly weren't at your best, but you somehow managed to come away with something.
Yeah, I think the difference between this season and last season is that at Southend the game could have gone either way. Like, even towards the end, it was like a game of basketball, really. It was so open. That wasn't like that in the last half an hour today. It wasn't. We just completely kept them in their half. Very rarely did they get forward enough to sort of create anything. I think they had one cross across goal, which maybe caused a bit of an ooh. But apart from that, no, it was. I agree with you. It's similar, where we just showed enough to make sure we got back in the game. But this group is different. They have a really strong mentality. They have real character, and I'm proud of them for that. But the bottom line is we shouldn't have to show that side of their mentality as much as they do. We shouldn't have to do that at all. It's frustrating. The positive is the way they bounced back, the character they showed, and that we got a point. A bad team doesn't play like that and get a point out of the game. That's a sign of a team that are not willing to give up. They're willing to fight for each other, and if they keep doing the right things, the right outcomes happens.
Given that it was so early in the day, it felt like the team was shell-shocked a bit, certainly for the first 15-20 minutes.
Yeah, we didn't respond well enough. As I said, that gives them. They then have a feel in the game where they can maybe get even more out of it. We were just nowhere near what we need to be at in the first 20 minutes. But when you concede so early, it's so difficult. I've been there. It's so difficult. When you're at home, you have a game plan, and then you concede. And it just, as I said to you, it changes the whole course of the game. It changes their approach, breeds anxiety because we've done it so many times. We need to look at it forensically, and as a group of staff and a group of players, and do something to avoid it happening again.
You brought Lasse Sorensen off after half an hour. I don't know whether, I assume it was a tactical decision in a bid to get a little bit more bite into the midfield.
Yeah, we needed David on to help protect the back three more. It didn't need to be Lasse, but unfortunately for him, I took him off. We needed to help the team, and everyone has to accept it's never personal. It's always professional to try and help the team, and you have to put the team first. And I thought David was outstanding when he come on. Really, really, really good. So he's a young player. He has, his ups and downs in form. We know what he's really capable of, and tonight he really showed that. Strong mentality, athletic. Use of the ball was brilliant tonight, better than it's been in recent weeks. And yeah, the game dictated that we needed him on that point, so that's why I made the change.
Real sucker punch at the start of the second half as well, and it's normally your side that makes these bright starts to the second half. Yeah,
we usually start the second half really well. I was expecting the same thing, and then to go 2-0 down, I just felt sick. The play, and I could see it in the players there, and then I just thought maybe tonight we're going to have to write off and take. There wasn't many positives to take at that point, and we'd have to learn from it and quit. But then, I never ever give up the hope that the players show the character they do day in, day out, and have the courage to keep doing what we want them to do, and they did that unbelievably well. I just maybe thought it wasn't going to be enough tonight to get us back into it because we gave them too much to hang on to. But as I said, credit to them, they were outstanding. Karl Morris made a big difference when he come on. I thought he was outstanding. So there were some big performances and a big mentality to come back into the game. But we shouldn't have to, Toby. We have to do it too often. We shouldn't have to do it, and we need to learn really quickly. If we're going to become the team that I think we are capable of becoming and that we have shown real glimpses of, that has to stop because it hurts us so much.
Do you think if you'd have snatched it at the end, it would have been daylight robbery?
It depends how you look at it. I think they had the better of the game for sure. But for the last half hour, there was one team, they were completely gone physically, mentally. We were just relentless, really. So, I don't know if it had been daylight robbery. I probably wouldn't call it that. They might, if we'd have gone on to get a winner. But I'm sure they'd be disappointed we got back into the game. But yeah, I'm disappointed we didn't win it in the end because of how the boys played in the last half an hour.
Karl Morris probably the biggest difference maker, I think, certainly in that second half when he came on, and probably his best performance since coming back on loan.
Yeah, he's had a couple this year. Gillingham, he was fantastic. I think Carlton's been a victim of, it means so much to him here. He loves it here. Obviously, I have a relationship with him from before. He's desperate for it to work, and I think he's been a victim of trying too hard at times and feeling the burden of things and the team and results. And, I've told him just to relax. I know what he's capable of, and he knows what we all do. We saw it last season. We've seen it this season in glimpses. But that was him really back to his best. Linking up play, running in behind, got a goal which he deserved. The way he brought others into it, he was him and Cammy in the second half, were really impressive, really aggressive. And I just want him to maintain that now. He's found himself out of the team because we've tweaked the shape a little bit and other people have played well, and we had to change something. We weren't getting the results, and obviously we did, and it's found himself out. But I'd never ever question his attitude, his commitment to what we're trying to do and to the football club is incredible, considering he's not even our player as well at this minute in time. So, really pleased for him, and he deserved the goal.
And that Cameron Jerome finish, I think, took everybody by surprise. I think everybody just stopped and let it roll across the line. Yeah,
it was lovely, wasn't it? He shows his experience and his quality a lot in the game, and I thought maybe he'd taken too long with it, but he knew exactly where the defender was, used him really well, and the goal in, and just passed it in. And we've lacked that quality at times this season. And so, I'm really pleased with both of them. They deserve the goal for the hard work they put in and out of possession, especially in the second half.
We're getting closer towards having fans in to Stadium MMK again. How much is it exciting you that sort of there's light at the end of the tunnel, and how much of a difference will they have made on a night like tonight?
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to have them back. I think we all can't wait. I don't know how many will be allowed yet, obviously, but I can't wait to have them back. They're going to make a big difference to our team. They'll make a big difference to how the opposition approach the game as well. They were really important to us last season, and I'm sure they will be again this season. So, not sure they would have enjoyed the first half tonight or the first 10 minutes of the second half, and I'm sure they would have made that known, and we have to accept that because it was poor. But I think on the whole they'll come back, and we'll give them something to a team to be proud of, and a team to really connect with again. So I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be our next home game.
Nice one, thank you, mate.
Cheers, mate.
So obviously confidence grew after Colton got his goal, but particularly in the last 10 minutes or so, could you sense that Shrewsbury were kind of getting frustrated with how you guys were doing so well, and kind of allowed you to really attack them?
Yeah, I think it was our energy and intensity that allowed us to attack that long. I don't think they. I think they were obviously so frustrated at giving away the lead. Goals change games, as I spoke about. The first one changes the game completely. We get 2 goals, get back into it, and they're mentally and physically completely drained. It's what it does. As we were in the first half after conceding the first goal. I'm just so pleased we had a different reaction to the second goal we conceded, because otherwise I'm sitting here really unhappy tonight, and I'm still unhappy. But the positive is we have a point and we didn't get beaten. But yeah, I think I think they maybe accepted at that point that we were, we just kept coming. I think at the end they were hanging on, whereas it was the other way around for a lot of the first half.
And obviously, Cameron and Carlton really linked up nicely in the second half. I'm sure they would have felt aggrieved that Carlton connect Cameron's nice cross late on the game.
Yeah, I think there was some really good link-up play with them. I think they brought other people into the game really well. And yeah, we were whisked away in the end. Regan heads it back across the goal. There was a few moments like that. So some really good moments, some really clear moments. And there was a lot of Shrewsbury bodies back in the box and defending at that point as well, which made it really difficult to find any space. But we did create a lot of... we had a lot of the ball in the final third tonight and created quite a bit, which I'm pleased with. And we created a lot on Saturday as well. So that needs to continue. We look a real threat going forward at the moment, but we need to sort it out at the other end.
Last one from me. Matty Soranola gets checked out after being substituted. How's he feeling?
Yeah, no, he's fine. He was just exhausted. He's exhausted. So it's a big step up intensity for some of these players, especially the younger ones, from what they've been used to, day in, day out, game after game. And Matty has been outstanding. I thought he was really good for us tonight again. Especially with the first half, one of the better players for sure. So yeah, he was just exhausted, and I think it was the right time to substitute him, but he's fine.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Hi there. What do you think was the biggest change in the response to the reaction to the first goal, where it felt like the team took a while to get going, and the second goal, where the goals seemed to come almost immediately?
Yeah, I think at that point there's nothing to lose. I think they were that angry with themselves and frustrated at what was going on that you either it's fight or flight at that point. You either give up and accept it's not your night, and it's one of those, and you'll try and make up for it another time, or you roll your sleeves up together and you decide that actually it's not going to be that kind of night, and they know they're better than that. They know we're better than that. And I am really, really, hugely proud of the reaction after the second goal. So yeah, I don't know what the change is, but I think at that point, there's less to lose, definitely.
That's probably the biggest factor, isn't it? Of late, Ben Gladwin's played more of a wing-back or work role, so that he seems to play more of a central role after coming as a substitute. How would you rate his adaptability between the two?
Yeah, I thought he was really good when he came on. A couple of shots as well that were flying and got blocked. But he just gives such an air of confidence on the ball, can pick a pass. Helped us keep the ball in their final third a lot more than we had done up till that point. Ben's quality, it's clear to see for everyone how much quality he has. So yeah, I've been really pleased with his input recently at wing back, and then tonight centrally, which is obviously the position we've used him in more over the period of time he's been here.
Sure. There are 4 changes for the games tonight. Do you think it's a case of keeping the squad fresh, and will this also be a factor for the team sheet on Saturday against Barnet?
Sunday, yeah. Yeah, I think we had to make some changes because you speak to the guys physically, how they are, how they're doing, have a look at the stats, etc., how they're recovering. And also we lost 3-1 at home. So the performance was really good, but we lost 3-1 at home. So we have to try and inject some energy in something different somewhere. And it didn't quite work. It didn't work. I'll take responsibility for that. I trust every single player we have in the squad that when we put them on the pitch to produce a performance, and obviously we didn't do that for the first 60 minutes, but I'll take responsibility for that, for the changes. It's a hectic schedule. We have to manage people. I spoke about that a lot before. But yeah, the people that came on made a real big difference tonight. So I'll take responsibility for the team that started, and maybe it was maybe I made mistakes, but at the same time I have incredible trust for every single player to perform, and unfortunately we had to change it early because of the goal we conceded.